Aibu. Morning. Good. Hey, what? I mean the right car? Yes. Okay, thank you. Members. Oh. Abashongo pe. It's cold.
Bibi, please mute.
Honorable members, good morning. You are welcome to the meeting. My name is Supra Ubakeng Ramuelezi Mahuma Pelo, the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on International Relations and Cooperation. I'll be running this meeting together with Honorable Jane Manyanyiso, who is from the Select Committee on Defense in the NCOP. We have an agenda for today, which is a very short agenda. I will ask that somebody makes a proposal for the adoption of the agenda.
Morning, Mr. Chair. This is Honorable Douglas. I'll propose adoption of the agenda.
Thank you very much. Honorable Douglas.
Thank you, Chair.
Yes, anyone, you can proceed.
I move to second the adoption. Thank you very much, Honorable Kumba.
Thank you, Honorable Kumbacha. From the NCOP, can we have at least a second or two?
Thank you, Chair.
I second.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that secondment. We now have the agenda adopted, honorable members. As you know, honorable members, this is a joint meeting. As I said, between ourselves, Portfolio Committee on International Relations and the Joint Committee of Defense in the NCOP. What we are going to be looking at today, as the agenda indicates, is a matter of approving the draft SADC protocol, as indicated today here. To the best of my knowledge, the report was circulated to members of both the Portfolio Committee on International Relations and the Joint Committee of Defense in the NCOP. So what I will do in terms of procedure, I will do the presentation of the draft recommendations, after which I will ask for any comment to be made, if there is any, because we have discussed this matter separately. And thereafter we'll ask for a mover for adoption, from DERCO Portfolio Committee and a seconder from DERCO Portfolio Committee, after which we will ask the NCOP to do the same. So, I'm now going to present, honorable members, what was sent to you. Input on the draft SADC protocol on the regional parliaments. You'll bear with me, I'm not going to give context and all those other things. We're supposed to go to the budgets by 10. After reading the presentations which was done to both of us, the following recommendations in the form of improvements are suggested on the draft protocols. Number one, the significance of the SADC protocol in advancing regional integration and the role of parliaments in this process was highlighted. I strongly called for a transformation of the SADC regional parliament to gain legislative powers. 2, members recommended that the SADC parliament must evolve into a binding lawmaking body over time and have oversight powers over peacekeeping missions, trade, and human rights. 3, emphasis was made on the need for a more comprehensive description of parliament structure, clearer time frames for committee sittings, and processes for members' removal, including provisions for oath of office and financial oversight. 4, the SADC parliament could be more comprehensively described so that there's a hierarchical structure, the membership of and the numbers of the various committees, the way persons are to be removed or filling of vacancies, and in the event that such occur, need to be systematically detailed in the document. It is presently absent. 5, the document must be restructured to provide for the members of parliament, the office of the parliament, then the bodies of the parliament and its duties, and that articles that pertain to those broad headings be grouped together. 6, there are no time frames prescribed for the sittings of the standing committees. Whilst the executive committee is provided to sit twice a year, it's unclear how often standing committees are going to be sitting. 7, it is unclear if sessions of those committees, all the sessions of the plenary assembly are going to be open to the public or the media. In the interest of transparency and facilitating transparent democracies, it is proposed that that it be inserted that all sessions will have to be open to the media and the public. 8, the draft protocol is silent on the processes for the removal of members in the event of anything such as misconduct. It is proposed that reasons to remove members be considered and included in the document. There are no any oaths of offices prescribed for members of the SADC parliament. It is therefore proposed that it be included. Number 9, Article 26 includes a provision for immunities and privileges. It is proposed that there be a further subclause that includes the waiver of those immunities and privileges in certain instances, and that the draft protocol itself prescribe those instances. 10, Article 35 provides for withdrawals. It is proposed that an automatic withdrawal provision be inserted to ensure that if a member state withdraws at any point from the SADC treaty, then its members of parliament, their membership is terminated with the SADC parliament automatically. 11, Article 18 provides for organs in capitals for determining their own rules and procedure. It is proposed that there must be an enabling provision for the plenary assembly to regulate its own rules and procedure. 12, there must be a provision for rules of committees. The way the draft protocol is structured, every committee is going to prescribe its own rules as it is so determines. It is preferable that there be an actual rules committee that prescribe rules for the parliament. Article 13 provides for regional parliamentary models laws oversight committee, but that committee is not actually going to provide for the rules and procedures of SADC Parliament. It rather provides for the oversight of member states' performances in implementing SADC model rules and policies. 13. Article 17 provides that all decisions are taken by consensus. Sorry, members, there's a call coming here. It's now disrupting me. I'm very sorry. Whoever is responsible for the document here has now replaced mine. I'm going back to 13. Article 17 provides that all decisions are taken by consensus, and in the event of such failure, the simple majority, it is proposed that consideration be given that warrant 2/3 majority, such as the election of the president or vice president of the plenary assembly, as well as the secretary general, be considered. 14. Article 23 provides for the secretary general to prepare the approval of the plenary assembly, the financial rules and the regulations of the management of the financial affairs of the SADC Parliament. It is noted that the Secretary General is also the accounting officer of the SADC Parliament, so it would be prudent to ensure that there are external rules or financial regulations that are applicable to avoid self-imposed regulation of the Parliament being weaker. That could be prescribed in any other sector. It's further proposed that there be oversight of the financial planning and expenditure of the SADC Parliament, which is an institution of SADC, to ensure that there are necessary checks and balances. 15. It was also noted that there are SADC financial regulations, and therein SADC is defined to include its institutions. It should be clarified within the draft protocol that those regulations are going to be applicable to it. 16. It is proposed that consideration on whether there should be any relationship between SADC Parliament and Pan-African Parliament and parliaments of the regional economic committees and national parliaments, and if so, that a clause be inserted to provide for the cooperation. 17. It was proposed that an interpretation clause be inserted to regulate the way the protocol is to be interpreted and the way to do so. So those are the proposals, honorable members. Honorable Manyanyiso has got flu, and she requested that I take members through this draft proposals. Members can now indicate whether there's anything that they want to say. My assumption, as I said earlier, is that we received the documents and we went through it. So I table the recommendations, honorable members. Let's see here. There doesn't seem to be any hand. From the select committee? Okay, Honorable Wesley. Douglas?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Proceed.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I agree with you that we went through this quite extensively in our previous committee, and that today the recommendations was presented. But, you know, even in terms of some of the recommendations we did make in the committee, some of that's not captured quite the same way. So, you know, there's issues around economic diplomacy, for instance, you know, having provisions for the parliamentary committees on economic diplomacy, having, you know, we need teeth around free trade agreements and the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. We need transparent procurement across borders. You know, there's certain other things like value addition to our raw materials before export and economic inclusion of indigenous people and youth. And then also the cross-border issues. issues. These are some of the issues that we raised that, I do feel that we need to put these things into the protocols before the time, so that it binds them as we establish this structure. We fully support SADC and regional integration. As you know, MKP is a Pan-Africanist organization. So we're not saying we don't want this, but we're saying we need to do it correctly, and we need to make sure that we put the correct transparency and oversight controls in place, and give them the teeth that they need to have, and make sure that there's things like auditing and external auditing frameworks and regular public reporting, and then also for us to have that rotational leadership from the different areas. So for me, I think there's a lot that can still be added, but I do understand that we are bound by certain political narrowing of these issues. And I do think that there needs to be a link between national and Pan-African parliaments as well. There needs to be a greater link. But I think I'll just leave it there for now.
Thank you, Honorable Douglas. You'll remember that no one opposed the proposals, and the agreement was that you will send them. So I just want to check if you did send them, because the staff wouldn't have been able to quickly capture everything or go to the recordings. So I just want to check if...
Apologies, Mr. Chair. I wasn't aware that we were saying it, but maybe it was said in the meeting. I didn't pick it up. So I assume that what was captured via the transcription of the minutes of the meeting via the Zoom artificial intelligence assistant. So I would have expected that they would be able to pick up those points from my inputs in the committee, seeing as it was recorded. But if so, I will accede to the fact that I didn't, subsequent to that meeting, send in those comments. I apologize for that.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Douglas. I think you can still do it. And then I'm happy that you are suggesting that we adopt the protocols. Honorable Ngobile Mhlongo.
Thank you, Chair. Greetings to yourself and colleagues on the platform. Chair, I'll start.
Honorable Mhlongo,
Appreciate that.
I know you are not responsible for the network, but your network is wobbling.
Proposal number 1.
Honorable Mhlongo.
This speaks to what we're advocating for, that I don't know.
Honorable Mhlongo.
Maybe it's where I am.
Yes, there's a terrible wobbling and instability on your part.
Maybe it's my network, but I can hear you clearly, Chairperson.
Oh, okay. I wonder what might be the problem. Try and move
Let
to...
me try to join with another device.
Okay, we will come back to you. Use another device and maybe move to another area. Select committee. Any comment? And a mover and a seconder?
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Manani, so I hope I'm audible.
You are very audible, yeah.
Yes, Chair. With regards to what have you presented, we have agreed as a committee that we need to include youth as well, and this document must reflect the word inclusion of other parties, because we know that the issues of disability and LGBTQIA plus society, at most of the time, they are not covered. So if we can just include the word inclusion, that in our structure, there should be a equal representation. I think it will cover everything, so that we don't offend even those that we know that they are anti other societal structures. So I want to check on our members from the NCOP, the mover and the seconder of these particular protocols. Honorable members from the NCOP.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. It's Honorable Midupi. Honorable Chair, from my side as an NCOP member, I move for the adoption of the protocol. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Midupi. A seconder to the move of the protocols.
Honorable Chair, it's Honorable Mhlongo. Can I please be noted? I'm not sure if I'm audible now.
Yes, remember I said I'll come back to you. Let me just allow Honorable Manyanyiso to finish the secondment from NCOP.
Thank you, Chair. It's because I had lost touch. It kicked me out. I had to rejoin, so I'm not sure.
No problem.
Okay, thank you.
CJ, proceed, ma'am.
Yes, honorable members from the NCOP, can I have the seconder of this particular document?
Thank you. Good morning,
Chairperson.
Chair.
Oh.
Honorable Pito.
Thank you, Chairperson. I was rising to second Honorable. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, honorable members. Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Supra, please note that the document has been adopted by members from the NCOP. I would now hand over to yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Manyanyiso. Thank you very much for that. The NPOPC site is now done. Honorable Mhlongo, I'm going back to you now. Your network was wobbling. We know it's not your responsibility, but you seem to be clearer now.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. I hope I'm more audible now.
Audible. Yeah.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you for your patience. Chair, I wanted to first speak on the first proposal that we really support. Proposal number 1, where it speaks that SADC Regional Parliament ought to have some legislative powers, not just to be a meeting where people meet for merely consultative purposes. We are really happy about that. Number 2, Chair, we want to speak to proposal number 2, which says that members recommended that SADC Parliament must evolve into a binding law making body over time. When you say over time, Chair, it's too vague. Over time can mean after 100 years, after 50 years. Let's put a time frame there and say after it's established, within 5 years or within 3 years of the establishment of the regional parliament, then we must evolve into a law-making body. Not just over time. For me, over time is too vague, Chairperson. Another proposal that we previously made in the committee was that we must propose that this regional parliament of SADC must be able to push the struggle of Pan-Africanism. I don't see it anywhere else, Chair. We had previously proposed that it must drive the agenda. The SADC Parliament must be able to drive the agenda of Pan-Africanism in ensuring democratic accountability across member states, Chair. That was our proposal in the committee, and that it must be able to ensure that we fight for political, economic and political integration of SADC region, as well as we must be able to have consolidated independent electoral body for SADC region that will ensure that we've got free and fair elections that take place in all the member states, that will oversee that and ensure that play an oversight role in terms of ensuring that there's free and fair elections across member states of SADC region without taking away the sovereignty of any state, Chair. Because history is a very good teacher. We have seen with the 2024 elections what happened in Mozambique. We have seen many times what has transpired with the elections of Zimbabwe next door, Chair. So must we be able to have an independent electoral body that is going to play an oversight role in all the member states. I don't see it being captured anywhere, Chair. and that we must ensure that this regional parliament must be able to champion for land reforms to correct the injustices of the past and ensure that we nationalize key industries in the region in order for us to eradicate poverty, Chair. We can do everything as long as people of Africa, they still live below the poverty line. It does not assist us with anything, Chair. We need to be able to have a SADC that eradicates poverty, and we form a model for the rest of the continent to look up to. And Chair, lastly, my proposal will be that let's have a standing committee that will look into a consolidated effort to ensure that we provide residents of SADC have access to quality healthcare services, Chair. We have seen with current events or even from the past, you know that the rest of member states, your Swaziland, your Zimbabwe, Lesotho, Mozambique, they are quickly to move to South Africa to access quality healthcare. Why is that? Because we don't play an oversight in ensuring that we fight for human rights, ensuring that people in SADC adequately receive quality healthcare, have access to quality healthcare. So let's have a standing committee there in that SADC parliament to look at the issue of healthcare, access to healthcare for the region. I thank you, Chair.
Thanks, Honorable Mthongo. You were much clearer now. Just before I go to Honorable Muela, Honorable Mthongo did say she's supporting the protocol with those additions. There was also a matter of this evolution, which is mentioned here, that there must be research which must look at the possibility of SADC becoming a one united country. Based on that research, that must be explored, which ultimately might be called Union of Southern African States, with their own powers, but with one central government. That will be based on research, which will then be discussed by both the executive and legislative arm. Ntate Muela?
No, thanks, Chair, and greetings to the NCOP honorable members on Select Committee. I just wanted to indicate, Chair, that we support the SADC protocol on the regional parliament. It reflected all the inputs and the points which we adopted in the portfolio committee when we were meeting. So we still emphasize our support to this protocol and its significance to enroll South African Renaissance agenda and to ensure that the SADC region becomes united and advocates for the plight of everyone in the region, and to ensure that all of us, we respect the protocol and we continue to advocate and silence for the peace, for the gun across all regions. Thank you very much. That was my input, that we emphasize and we support the protocol. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Muela. There's another hand of Honorable Bonginkosi and Honorable Kumbaga.
Thank you, Chair. Can I proceed?
Yes.
Chair, thank you. My name is Bonginkosi Matikizela. I'm here representing Emma, and part of the reason I'm here is because I serve in the SADC Parliamentary Forum, and the protocol, this draft protocol, really is one of the processes that we have embarked on, so that we can move from being a forum to being a fully fledged parliament. And I have noted the recommendations that have been made by various members. I just wanted to make 2 points, Chair. The first point is that the SADC Parliamentary Forum already have existing portfolio committees, which I think we must find a way as SADC Parliamentary Forum representatives, which will now be a parliament, to have a seamless, coordinated approach, so that whatever issues are discussed at that SADC parliamentary parliament now, we are able to really find a way to interact, especially in different respective portfolio committees. We are able to interact with our counterparts in our country, which is South Africa, so that we are singing from the same hymn book. In fact, those engagements must happen before these meetings and after, so that we can jointly influence the position that must be taken by respective, countries if we want to make impact in that parliament. So that was my submission, Chair, because I think what I've observed is that as members who serve in that body currently, we have set agendas, we attend, we make a contribution, but I don't believe that that contribution find a way to influence the policy position from different countries, so that whatever we are discussing at SADC, it finds expression in the entire region, so that we are able to implement whatever decisions we take there. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Matikizela. Honorable Kumbacha, you are the last.
Thank you very much, and good morning to yourself and all the members present in the meeting. Now, mine is just to reiterate the support for the draft protocol, and just also highlight the importance, but rather also appreciate the inclusion of point number 6 of the bodies of parliament to include a dedicated youth caucus in the SADC parliament structure, including those persons with disabilities. So I think the draft protocol really highlights our discussions, our previous discussions, and I'm in full support. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Kumbacha. Honorable members, we have had movers and we have had seconders from both the Portfolio Committee and the Select Committee. There are minutes from both the Portfolio Committee and the Select Committee. I'm going to ask that we adopt them at our own time separately, and then we'll submit them as part of addendums in case they are needed for any other purpose, which may include legal reasons. Now that that has been concluded, Honorable members, I'm going to check with Honorable Manyanyiso. Any last word from your side?
Chairperson, thank you. From our side, there's nothing, because you have noted that members have adopted this particular process and we would want to support these protocols.
Thank you very much, honorable members. I want to thank you for ensuring that as the Parliament of the Republic of South Africa, we participate in the necessary concretization in the institutionalization in SADC as part of the broader strategic objective, which are in the context of the African Union Agenda 2063. And we hope that this will create a basis for SADC to move much faster, much more concretely, better than the other regions in the African continent, so that SADC can then become an example and provide leadership in the entirety of the African continent with regard to the other existing regions. I want to thank the staff for working very hard to make sure that the seamless transmission of the meeting. Secondly, for having worked on the summary that emanated from both committees. The legal department, we also want to thank you. Your robust engagement, honorable members, raising issues, ultimately converging all of us into adopting the SADC protocols, which will ultimately be presented on behalf of South Africa by the honorable offices of the President of the Republic and the honorable offices of the Speaker of Parliament. Thank you very much, honorable members, and go and enjoy your debates in the mini plenaries. We have now closed the meeting officially.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Chair.
Chair.
Thank you, colleagues.
You
Bye-bye.
too.
Thank
Good
you,
luck.
Chair.
Sharp, sharp.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you.